In Kogi, ahead of the governorship election, there have been accusations and counter-accusations of violence between the APC and SDP. But how can we achieve peace in Kogi State before, during, and after the governorship election? Joining me in the studio to look at these and other issues are Olayinka Braimoh, who is the Action Alliance governorship candidate in Kogi State, and Atiku Abubakar Isa, a political analyst. Gentlemen, very warm welcome to Newsnight. Maybe I will start with the AA governorship candidates in Kogi State because of, the violence that is being unleashed, everywhere. I know you are from Kogi West.
Yes, I'm from Kogi
That's
West.
the same constituency, senatorial district that the PDP candidate comes from.
Correct.
We've not been seeing much electioneering. Rather, it is violence that's pervaded the length and breadth of Kogi. Why?
Well, I think in terms of the violence, I've been going around the state, having town hall meetings, engaging people. Nobody has attacked me or attacked any of our supporters. I wouldn't know for others, but in terms of the engagement we've been having, we've been focused primarily on issues, not attacking any personality. And to that extent, we've not had any of such attacks in our party and from our campaign team.
But you've heard of the violence.
Yes, I've heard of the violence. I've heard of the violence. I've read of the violence.
How healthy is that for, politicking in and, given leadership that is a minus, in governance ladder in this country?
I don't support violence. I'm not an advocate for violence. And what I encourage all candidates to do is to focus on issues. Let's base our campaigns on issues that bother the state. We have a major problem in our hands, poverty. That's a major problem we have in the state. And let everybody talk about it. What are you going to do? What are you offering the people?
All right. You're asking 1,001 questions that you and your fellow politicians and the electorate would have to answer. But let me come to political analyst Atiku Abubakar Isa. You've got the eyes and ears on the ground in Kogi State. How healthy is this development for the growth of that mineral resource rich state?
I am surprised that His Excellency here is not very much aware
Excellency already
of the things going on in Kogi State. The situation of the state is a pathetic one. Let me take us back to 2019. During the election, a woman was burnt alive. A repeat of that is about to happen again. It's happening, not about to happen. In Ofu local government, a former APC member with the camp to the SDP was killed. And he was said to be a terrorist. But the question now is, he was a delegate during the last presidential primaries. And we saw that he was on the attire of he wore a shirt with the logo of President Tinubu, meaning he voted for President Tinubu. So now, not only that, I have picture in my phone that the picture he took during that time with the chief of staff to the governor of Kogi State and the governor of Kogi State. So now, they declared him a terrorist. My question is, though I'm not a lawyer, if you capture a terrorist alive, do you have the power as a state governor to kill the person?
The state, how did you come about the state governor killing?
We have videos. He was captured alive and taken away from Ofu local government.
To where?
To Lokoja. We have a video. So, and then the commissioner of police did say,
you should have brought those videos.
I have, my phone is with me. I can bring it out here.
Go on.
When I make any statement, I provide evidence. Not only that,
well,
the SDP candidate was on his way from Abuja to Kogi State to pay homage to the chairman of Kogi State traditional rulers. Before he gets to Lokoja, he was shot at. And then Before we could say anything, the governor came on air that he was attacked by a leopard. So all of these things, I being a computer scientist, I know that when subjected to forensic examination, the security agencies, if they are serious, they can determine who did what and by which political party. So it is very clear the honest lies on the security agencies if they want to do the right thing. But if they don't want to do the right thing, it will become very difficult. Before coming on air, I received a call that not only the SDP candidate's life that is in danger, my own life is in danger as a result of my political affiliation and political analysis. So not only that, the current deputy governor's life is also in danger. All of these things, we are appealing to the Inspector General.
Why the deputy governor is not running?
He's
and
not
he's
running,
the
but he has
right-hand
kept
man
quiet.
of the governor.
He brought the governor. He supported the governor. But
So why
it was
why would his life
expected
be in
there
danger?
was an agreement that he was going to hand over to the deputy governor. Because the deputy governor comes from Kogi East, where the people of Kogi East were angry as a result of his loyalty and support to the governor, the current governor of Kogi State. But then we expected that in the event that he will not hand over to his deputy, he will take it to Kogi West, where His Excellency comes from. Then there to be rotation of power from Kogi East to Kogi Central to Kogi West. But in this case, he brought out his cousin brother, and that is what is causing the insecurity in the state.
Okay, let me ask Olayinka. From the submission of Abubakar Isa, it's like the ding-dong is between APC, SDP, PDP is not even being mentioned. AA is not being mentioned. And the retired chief of naval staff, who is a candidate, Jibril Usman, who is a candidate in Kogi, they're not being mentioned.
All right.
Is it a two-horse race?
No, you can see the trend of his argument and the issues based on violence. That is between APC and SDP. Obviously, others that are engaged in campaign on issues, so far, not that we're not hearing about the violence.
Osman Jibrin has not been attacked.
He has not
Just
been
like
attacked.
You said, you've not
I
been
have
attacked.
not been attacked. You know, so
Is it you know, seeing you as political featherweight or what?
the SDP candidate used to be an APC member before moving to SDP. He contested the primaries with APC.
And he's from Kogi East too.
He's from Kogi East. So the issue in terms of analyzing the violence and the issues around violence in the state, it has been between SDP and APC.
How healthy is that for, you know, those of you who are seeking, you know, leadership position and the rest, and say, look, let's go on a fair ground.
It's
and,
not good for the polity. Violence is not good. I condemn it completely. You know, however, what we're saying is this: let all of us focus on issues. Let every candidate come and tell people what you want to do. Like we have stated our STAT agenda clearly. You know, that poverty is the problem. And Kogi State don't have business with poverty. By virtue of our 29,833 square kilometers of land, that we can convert our land asset to wealth, you know, because we must drive in cash flow into our economy. I mean, our budget for this year is 172 billion naira. 172 billion naira for 29,833 square kilometers, of which we have about 4.4 million people. Our total IGR for last year was 18 billion. The projection for this year is 24 billion. 172 billion naira is already clear. It's clear that 172 billion can't create wealth for our people.
even with the debts owed by the state.
We are owing about 93.6 billion, closing Q1 2023. So what we're talking about these days, we must drive in cash flow into our economy. We must drive in cash flow. We must exchange product and service for money to come into our economy.
Okay.
Through solid minerals, tourism, agriculture, and trade.
That's when you get there now.
Yeah.
All right, let me come to the political analyst again. When you look at the three senatorial districts, the Okuns dominate Kogi West, right? And you have the Igberas in the central and the Igalas in the east and the rest. Can you weigh the strength politically? Where do you think the pendulum can swing now in terms of strength, numbers, and voting patterns?
It is very clear. According to INEC, the release from INEC shows that the Kogi East alone has can produce governor on its own, because if you go by the result of election in 2015, not the concocted result of 2019, you will see that only Kogi East is capable, because Kogi East has 9 local governments. I say it is 10 because Ajaokuta is predominantly dominated by the people of Kogi East. Because I remember while I was very young, my grandparents were from Ajaokuta. They migrated to Ida local government. So Ajaokuta, that's the 10th local government. Not only that, there's something very interesting Nigerians should know. And that is why all of this attack is coming from the angle which we already know. Because if you look at Ankpa local government, Dikina local government, these 2 local governments from Kogi East has more number of voters than the entire Kogi Central, where Governor Yahya comes from, and where his cousin brother, the candidate of APC, comes from. So you can see from this now, anybody, when you look at it logically, you can see that this is the reason why there's violence. Kogi East has 7 to 8 other local governments, which can cover. The only thing any serious candidate from Kogi East needs is the 25% for the 2/3 of all the local governments in the state, which, if I still remember my mathematics very well, it should be 14 local governments or thereabout. So now, if you have 10 local governments, which you can win convincingly, other local governments will always align, because these governorship candidates have picked their deputy from other senatorial zones. So the person contesting the attacks on Murtala Yakubu Ajaka, the SDP candidate, according to what I feel, because I am not a member of SDP, is because...
But you have 2 candidates from Kogi. It's 2 major candidates,
no.
Ajaka and
Jibril. Not only that, but Ajaka, when he said that he was going to visit the Ata of Igala, the crowd that received him at the palace of Ata Igala was by far more than the crowd during the time of the installation.
Was prevented from receiving him.
He was locked inside. But that is not a problem. Let me go, before I leave, let me go spiritual, because the governor of Kogi State is a
This is not religious.
It's not a religion. No. I want to advise.
Please.
When you advise, good advice is religious. Good advice is religious. Good advice is religious. So that he should know that power comes from God. There's nothing anybody can do that will stop the person that has been ordained. That is the religious aspect, which I say I need to bring in.
Okay, thank you very much. And when you weigh the political pendulum and the rest, 10 local governments against how many which is West and the rest, how are you going to strategize, you understand, to stick Ghana, to make sure you split the votes there?
We have a bigger problem in Kogi State. It's not about ethnicity. It's about poverty. Our people are poor. And it's been moving from government, from one administration to the other. Our people are getting poorer by the day. And poverty doesn't know tribe, religion, or ethnicity. And that's what we're talking about. We want to be able to create wealth and distribute wealth for our people, because we have enough resources to be able to do this from where we are today. From regenerative agriculture alone, we can take 1 hectare of land, we take a household out of poverty in 24 to 36 months forever. These are the things we're talking about. We intend training about 100,000 farmers, giving them C of O, 1 hectare per household. Because when we give them C of O, you're creating instrument for funding. So when you're analyzing politics and you're talking about ethnicity, we are talking about the fact that we want to create wealth for our people. Our people are poor, extremely poor.
And agriculture is the only way to take them out of poverty.
Agriculture, tourism, trade. For instance, we are bordered by 10 states, and we have a combined population of about 56 million people connected by about 1,072 kilometers of federal roads. That's a huge market out there. We target to feed 15 million people daily. 15 million people from Kogi State and around Kogi State. When you multiply that by an average of 500 naira per person, that's 7.5 billion naira daily, and about 750 billion naira every 100 days. Money made, money saved within our economy in Kogi State. That's what we're talking about. I mean, when you're talking about tribe and ethnicity politics, that doesn't put food on people's table. I mean, the East, they've had this for about 19 years, yet the people are poor. The current governor is from the Central, and people in his ward are poor as well. It means there's a fundamental problem, either with the leadership or the followership. So in this case, everybody's talking about ethnicity. I represent one power shift from poverty to prosperity. That's what we're talking about. And that's our agenda, STAT, to drive in cash flow from solid minerals, because we have to exchange products for money to come in. And services, tourism.
What's the full meaning of the acronym STAT?
STAT. We want to drive in cash flow from solid minerals, T for tourism, A for agriculture, and the last T for trade. By virtue of our geographical location, we are the gateway between the north and the south. You know, people from the south pass through Kogi State to go to the north, to markets in the north. And those from the north pass through our state to go to Aba, to go to Onitsha, to go to Lagos. What we intend to do, turn Kogi to a trade center, a trade hub, where you bring the Onitsha, Aba, and the Lagos market here. The Kano, the Zamfara, and the Sokoto, to bring them here to Kogi State.
Isn't that why you're a confluent state?
Yes, that's why we're a confluent state. And to be able to take advantage of that, not talking about ethnicity, tribe, and religion, because we must create wealth for our people. Poverty knows no tribe, knows no religion. And that's our, I mean, people are poor across borders, across the...
Brilliant submission, I would say. Let's turn to you very quickly. You round this up. Abubakar Issa, the campaign so far is not being issue-based from the alleged frontrunners, APC, SDP, the other party by Usman Jibrin. Why?
I am surprised. I would have voted for him here. But if you tribalize the killing of people of a Kogite, then I don't think you will do well as governor. We are saying somebody was killed extrajudicially, and you are talking about food, this food. You need to be alive before you eat food. We are talking about the burning of a woman. That makes me to cry. I hold back my tears all the time.
2019.
In 2019, nothing has been done. A man was killed. Alongside with him, another woman was killed. Not only that, on a daily basis, as I speak to you, my life is in danger. And you are talking, how can you campaign when the SDP candidate is on daily basis being attacked? How can you campaign? That's your colleague. You should be protecting him. I am not contesting election, and I don't belong to all of these political parties.
Okay, it's all right. The security agencies are there. We've run out of time, you know. Olayinka Braimoh, governorship candidate of Action Alliance in Kogi. Thanks very much for coming.
Thank you very much for having me.
And Atiku Abubakar Issa, political analyst and, aligned in Kogi State too. Thanks, gentlemen.